And welcome back to the Metal Teddy Bear Experience here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. This is your host, Chris, and I have a very special guest on the line. I have Mark Zavon of Kill Devil Hill. What's up, man? How you doing today?
Not bad. How you doing, Chris?
Pretty good. Drank a lot of coffee today. I'm ready to go. Dunkin' Donuts all throughout my body. So as I always ask, where are you calling from today?
Calling from Los Angeles, California.
Nice, dude. Nice. Are you playing any shows? Are you on tour, or what's happening?
No, I live here, so I'm just kind of taking up space, man. Getting ready to do everything else.
Yeah, following you on Instagram and Twitter and stuff, I feel like you play the Viper Room a lot, right?
Yep. We've been down there with Kill Devil Hill, been down there with a Southern Rock tribute band that we've been messing around with for fun, and definitely been staying busy, man. It's a good thing to kind of, stay current and, stay busy as much as possible.
Oh, of course. I mean, you never want to stay idle, especially in this business. I feel as soon as you stay idle, you start calming down, something new comes out, something happens, and you're like, oh, man, I'm behind already,
Exactly. And so the Hollywood clubs are pretty easy to get into, and most of us are pretty close to here. So for us, it's a local show, and it's easy. We know the people that work there, so it gets us in there, and it's kind of low key. So a lot of fun. Plus, we got a really good fan base here, and makes for a fun show.
Yeah, I've always heard good things about the Viper Room. I've never been out to California, but if I do, I'm going to be heading over there. Hopefully we'll be there.
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely, man. It's cool. Don't miss the Rainbow, too. Get up there and get you some pizza. They got some amazing pizza up there at the Rainbow.
Pizza in California?
No, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Oh, skeptical now. You got me. I'm so used to Jersey pizza. But like you said, you've been busy. You put out a self-titled album with EMP Records not too long ago. What made you want to put out a solo record after being in bands?
Well, actually, truthfully, I didn't intend to. I wound up with a lot of time on my hands. So Kill Devil Hill, Rex Brown from Pantera was the bass player, and Vinny Appice was the drummer. And Rex decided that he was going to do a solo record. So when he decided to do that, I tried to convince him to continue doing Kill Devil Hill at the same time, but he really wanted to focus all his attention on the solo effort. So that's fine, and it just basically took a long time. So about a year and a half of time that I had on my hands, I needed to figure out what to do with. So I wound up kind of chipping away at some old songs that I had, like, I'll finish these up, what about these? Because I've got a home studio here where I do all my demos and stuff. And I found that I had a pretty good stack of songs. So some of the stuff was intended to be Kill Devil Hill music. Some of the stuff was written for other bands that I've been in over the years. And some of it was written fresh, with kind of, the whole, finishing something up on my own in mind. So once I started putting all that stuff together and I got close to about 10 songs, I started to realize, oh, man, maybe I've got a record here. Maybe I should get it mixed and mastered and see what I can do with it. And at that point, I had known Dave Ellefson for a while, and I knew he had a new label. So I contacted him and sent him some of the stuff, and he was like, oh, I really like it. I'd like to put it out on my label. What do you think? And I was like, oh, yeah, let's do it for sure. And so he and Tom Hazart, his main guy over there, got the distribution and everything put together for that, and released it, as you said, not too long ago.
Well, that's actually pretty cool that you got to team up with Dave Ellefson. Like, he's one of the best, musicians around, and everyone loves him. Like, I spoke to him. I've talked to people that spoke to him as well, and they all love Dave. So being on his record label, that must have been like a great feeling, right?
Oh, yeah, it's a great honor, man. I mean, the guy is such a fantastic guy as well. I mean, I was given the honor of actually accepting an award for him or at an award show that was, I don't remember where, it was out in, I can't remember, Agora Hills, I think it was. And I showed up, and basically it was an award that he was receiving for all kinds of, basically providing band gear for kids that don't have the opportunity to get it on their own. So he was basically keeping rock and roll alive for the next generation. I mean, what's more important than that? So yeah, he's an amazing guy. Super nice, down to earth cat too. I mean, and he doesn't have to be. He plays in Megadeth. You know, it's like this guy could be, the most self-centered egomaniac of all time, but he's not at all. The opposite is totally true. So he's the coolest guy ever, and I'm really grateful that he saw something in this solo record that he thought was worth releasing.
Did he have like any hand in like producing or just helping out on songs? Like, did he lend any ideas or anything like that?
No, actually, I did it all myself. It's all self-produced. I recorded everything myself. I wrote everything myself. I sang, played guitar, played bass, everything but the drums I did myself. So the whole thing is just basically me at my home studio with Brian Tisci on drums.
And did that make you nervous at all? Just like, because you're the one-man band doing everything on your own, everyone's looking at you now.
Well, it's kind of weird, I'll be honest. It's kind of tough to not have somebody to bounce ideas off of, because the real danger is you lose your objectivity completely, and then you don't know if anything's good anymore. So it's easy to record over good stuff because you think you want it to be perfect, but sometimes the best music isn't perfect. Like if you listen to early Zeppelin or Van Halen, that stuff's not perfect, but the spirit of it is. You know what I mean? It's got so much vibe that it's just amazing to listen to. So you can overlook that if you're not careful and just keep trying to make it so perfect that you just squeeze all the love right out of it,
Definitely. And also, I noticed that you said that you did it all in your home studio. Now, did you have that set up for like a long time throughout your career, or did you actually start building it more and more as you were doing your solo record?
Well, I've always had something. I started with a cassette 4-track when I was younger. I've kind of moved up and moved on. But yeah, I've had a demo studio here that we've done all the demos for, like the Kill Devil Hill records were all done here. Most of it, some of it was done at Vinny's house, but most of it was done here. And I've always kind of maintained a studio of some sort or another. I did actually add a few components that I needed, to complete the solo record, because that actually, doing demos is different than doing a complete record. So when I was, when I got close to where I figured, okay, I'm going to actually put this out as a record, I realized I needed some, more pro gear that I didn't have. So I picked up some of that stuff to make sure I could make it all happen. But most of it was already in place. So the meat and potatoes was already there.
Well, shout out on your Big Shot video, by the way, and doing the cover on that. That was actually a really well done video. I thought the production, I like the whole concept of it, especially, it's being a cover for Billy Joel. What made you want to do that cover?
Well, I'm a big Billy Joel fan. I have been since I was a kid. I had his records back before I even played guitar, and I always admired his songwriting, and thought that, his musicianship and songwriting was just amazing. And that song in particular always stuck with me because I thought it had so much sarcasm and attitude to it. You know what I mean? So later on, when I was playing guitar and thinking about putting together a cover song, it was a really easy pick because I thought it would make a great aggressive cover with all that attitude it already had in the lyrical content.
Do you think that you would do any more covers by him or by another artist?
Well, certainly, but I don't know if I have another Billy Joel song in mind, but definitely more covers. I've got a bunch of different cover concepts like that, so I might even, we recorded one recently with Kill Devil Hill, a demo, so we'll see if that sees the light of day, but it's a Doors song, so you never know.
That's actually cool that you did a Doors song with him. I wouldn't have guessed that, you know what I mean? Being a
right.
cover for that band. But you mentioned
sometimes it's cool to get outside the box. You know what I mean? That's the thing with the Billy Joel thing too. Is that stylistically it's different. It's sometimes it's just more interesting if it's just something that's not stylistically the same.
Well, so with Kill Devil Hill, there's been I don't know, how many years has it been since the record? I think 2003. You guys put out Revolution Rise, right?
13. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's the latest update on new music?
Well, Dewey and I have been writing pretty much this whole time. We've got a record written and demoed, so about 15, 16 songs, I guess. And we're just looking for the right home for it. We've got pretty close with a couple of labels, but it's just not quite the right fit. So as soon as we find the right fit, we're gonna start tracking it. Hopefully it'll be soon. I sure hope it'll be this year. But fingers crossed, the sooner the better for me. I mean, I love that stuff. And I know that the fans have been hitting me up online quite a bit. There's a lot of people who want to hear it. And I know that anybody who's a fan of those first two records is going to love the material for the third record. So I can't wait for the fans to hear it, is the truth.
So you said that there's a lot of demos done. So basically you guys can like put it out once you get all the like legalities done?
Yeah, well, I mean, we need to go in a studio and track it all properly and everything. I mean, right now it's just, songs, the ideas of the songs, and they're recorded. They sound great, but we need to go in and actually track them, probably with the producer in a proper studio and, do it for real.
Do you ever get tired?
Yeah, we'll see.
Do you ever get tired of like the fans hitting you up about it, asking you about it?
Oh, no. Oh, no way. I mean, that's the whole reason we do it, man. It's all about entertainment. It's all about the fans and making them happy, you know what I mean? Because it's that energy of making a fan happy that we feed off of, especially live, So, no way. Yeah, I never get tired of that.
And not having Rex there, has that been like tougher for you guys, or has it not been a factor at all?
Not really. Rex didn't really write much for Kill Devil Hill. He's a great bass player. I mean, I miss that. I miss hanging out with him too. He's a good friend. He's a really great guy, and he's a really great bass player. I mean, like truthfully, amazing bass player. But it is what it is at the end of the day. And as far as writing's concerned, between Dewey and I, we wrote basically all the stuff, So it's not really, I don't know. That part isn't missing so much. It's the bass playing. And I'll be honest with you, when I'm doing the demos, I literally think to myself, when I start playing the bass for the demos, I'm like, what would Rex do? You know what I mean? Like, in my mind, I want to try and play it like Rex would play it,
WWRD.
So, yeah, exactly.
Get those shirts made, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys actually have stuff ready to go. Like basically, like you said, if you hit the studio, you guys can record it, so at least fans can hear that. The only reason I ask that is because I know some musicians, some artists get really tired of fans like berating them about it, asking about it. Like you'll hear it when you hear it, kind of thing. I've heard that from a lot of artists. They kind of get annoyed with like all the social media and the reach out. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a compliment, though. And you got to kind of take that stuff in stride, I think, because. Otherwise, I mean, what would you do if they didn't want to hear it? I mean, be careful what you wish for, right?
No, definitely. I totally understand that. Now, like we talked about your video, Big Shot, before. Is there another video you're going to put out? Maybe live video, lyric video, actual video? What do you got in mind?
There are lyric videos for a couple of songs. There's one for Color of Blood and one for 3 Days Grace. And I do have another video for the song Back in the Day. And those you can check out on my YouTube channel, which is just my name. You can check it out on YouTube. But yeah, those are available. And I might be doing some more lyric videos. Truthfully, I got a line on some of that stuff actually ahead, so we'll see. But those are available to check out right now.
For anyone tuning in right now, you're listening to 90.3 WMSC over in Montclair. This is your host, Chris, the Metal Teddy Bear Experience, and I got Mark Zavon on the line. All right, so on my show, I ask 3 random silly questions. You ready to take part in that?
Sure.
All right, question number 1. It's a little bit of a two-parter, A and B. So there's a zombie apocalypse. It happened. Everyone's dead. But where would you hide? And question number 2, what celebrities would you recruit for your team?
Well, let's see. I think I'd hide in the Bahamas. And let's see, celebrities. How about Emeril Lagasse? And let's see, Jack Daniels, and who else can I recruit? I think that'd probably be all right with me.
Those are pretty interesting options. I have questions about all of them. Why Bahamas? Why Emerald? Why Jack Daniels?
Well, the Bahamas because I like anywhere I can put my feet in the sand. Jack Daniels because I want to have a drink in my hand. And Emerald because you got to eat sometime.
Yeah, and he's the guy to cook everything for you. I get it. Okay.
There you go. Bam!
Right there. 3-parter, or 2-parter, I should say. All right, question number 2. What is your weirdest experience while on public transportation?
Oh, public transportation. Let's see. Well, I had a really positive experience just recently. I was flying back. We were coming back on a flight, my wife and I, from somewhere, and we didn't get seats together. So we're getting on the plane, and we're like sort of seeing if we can kind of, work the beads and see if someone would give up their seat and let us sit together, and it wasn't working. But some lady, this lady who was on the flight, was sitting in an aisle seat, and she's like, "Would you like to sit together? Here, you can have my seat. I'll sit in the middle." And I was like, "Oh, well, that's really nice of you." And so she let me sit there. And it turned out we wound up talking to her afterwards at baggage claim, and it turns out she is the singer for the band Taste of Honey, which that song "Boogie Oogie Oogie" is that's she had a hit, a disco hit. And she's a celebrity, and I had no idea. So anyway, public transportation, I was on the flight. She gave up her seat, and then now we're friends on Facebook.
That's actually awesome. Usually I get some weird, gross story, usually like with vomit or sort of some like bowel movement or something like that. But yours is actually really wholesome. I like it.
Right on.
All right, question.
She was super cool, too, and she's an incredible bass player, too.
Oh, I bet, especially if she had a hit. Definitely.
Yeah, totally.
Maybe you could get her in the band, too.
You never know.
Question number 3, what's your biggest pet peeve while on tour?
Oh, biggest pet peeve, not being able to find a shower. That can be a real pain in the butt, because a lot of times, if you're on a bus and you're traveling from one place to another, you may or may not get hotel rooms. You may or may not have a day room. You may or may not have access to a shower at the venue. And, it can get a little down and dirty now and again. And, sometimes it doesn't smell quite right. But, yeah, that's my biggest pet peeve. No shower.
That's a common one. That's a common one.
Yeah, I bet it is.
Yeah, also, there was this band I was talking to once where they were saying how it would be like a great tip for younger bands or whoever to get a fitness, like a gym membership. That's 24 hours. That's like across the whole nation. So when you tour, you can always have a shower no matter where you are. So I thought that was actually a pretty good tip.
That's handy.
But that was the random. That was the random silly question segment. I hope you enjoyed that. What do you guys have planned? What do you have planned for the next couple months?
Well, right now, just trying to put things together and see if I can figure out some touring or at least some live shows for the solo band, and see what we can do with that. And like I said, we've got a new manager for Kill Devil Hill, new booking agent, so we're trying to figure that out, see if we can't get a record label to work with us the way we need to for this next record. And we've also got a Southern Rock tribute band, I think I mentioned, with Dizzy Reed from Guns N' Roses and Dewey and I, and we do that for fun. We play around town and do whatever we can whenever everybody's available. 6 guys, though, so it's tough to get schedules together, but we've been doing that, screwing around, and I actually recorded some tracks for Dizzy's new solo record, which will be coming out on Golden Robot Records here shortly. But staying busy with that stuff. I got a couple other little album projects that I'm kind of, guesting on that are coming up here shortly, too. Nothing I can really mention, but staying busy in the studio and hopefully get out and start playing out your way soon.
If anyone wants to find out where, like, to listen to your music, find anything about Kill Devil Hill, where's the best place to go?
Well, you can check me out at markzavon.com. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram. I've got a YouTube channel, Twitter. Also, Kill Devil Hill has a website, killdevilhillmusic.com. Kill Devil Hill Music also on Facebook and Instagram as well. And, please check us out. And any news that comes up or tour information will be available on those websites for sure.
Awesome. Sounds good, man. And thanks again for taking the time out of your day to do this interview. I greatly appreciate it. And best of luck on all your upcoming endeavors.
All right. Thanks a lot, Chris. Appreciate you having me, man.